This might seem basic. Most people don't do any of this. Anytime you're presenting an offer to a market, the most important thing for you to remember is who it is that you are talking to. This might seem basic. This might seem sort of, advertising 101. The point is that most people don't do any of this. And we here at Tier 11 have actually developed an entire process that we call the Creative Lab, which the very first step is deep dive research. And deep dive research is how we figure out exactly who the market is, not just their demographics of where they live and what their gender is and how old they are, but their psychographics, like how they're thinking, how they're feeling, what their pains are, what their desires are. The goal for us as advertisers is to go so deep into this deep dive research that the prospect says, that is me. That's exactly me. They are speaking to my exact desires. They're speaking to my fears. It's a message that resonates with the market and creates something called sympathetic vibration, where the message and the market are in perfect harmony and they're sort of vibrating with each other. You do not get this by just doing demographic and interest-based research. You really have to go a level deeper. Now, the best place that we find the best data in order to formulate the messaging or the messaging lens for our ads and for our ad copy and our creatives is over at a place where you probably have a fair amount of experience. You probably bought something from them just this week, Amazon. So if you have a product on Amazon, this is actually a fairly simple process. But let's say that you don't. Let's say maybe you're going into a new market and you're not exactly sure what your marketing message should be, but you have a couple of competitors, all of whom are on Amazon, whether it's a physical product, whether it's a book, whether it's any other type of product. The point is you can go onto Amazon and find very specifically exactly how your market is speaking, how they're feeling, what their really deep and profound desires are, what their fears are, by going to one single section inside Amazon, which is reviews. Now, most people will go into reviews and maybe they'll take a cursory glance at it and maybe write some ad copy from it. If you're doing that, you're 10 steps ahead of everybody else in the market. But there's another way in which you can go even deeper. I'm not talking about just bland marketing messages. I'm talking about messages that really resonate with the market. Like they go deeper than spaghetti creative, spaghetti ad copy, which is just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. Now, if you can find either your product or maybe your very, very close competitor product, and maybe you want to get some ideas for other products to potentially use to base your marketing message, there's two other tools inside Amazon which are extremely helpful as well. They've also bought, which is usually underneath maybe your competitor's listing on Amazon. And then if you scroll down even further, you can then see another section called Amazon Recommends. Now, in the middle section, there is an area for paid advertising. Sometimes those are effective as well. Those aren't quite leveraging the algorithm inside Amazon as these three areas are. Obviously, reviews for your product are going to be the number one. But if you don't have a product, go find your competitors, read their reviews, but also look at they have also bought an Amazon Recommends. How we do this is then we take all of those individual reviews. Let's say we've got 3 individual products that we found that are very, very similar to the product that we're trying to sell for our customer in our agency. Then we'll use a tool on Amazon, which is actually a Google Chrome plugin. I believe you can also get it on Safari, which is Amazon Review Export. Amazon Review Export. Get that plugin, open up the tab for reviews for your primary competitor, maybe another competitor that has been recommended by the They've Also Bought section, maybe a third one under Amazon Recommend. So you've got 3 tabs open, you click Amazon Review Export, and what that will do is that'll actually pull all the reviews for every one of those individual products into an Excel file, which you can then export into Google Sheets. Once we have those individual Excel files, we merge them into one, sort of a master Creative Lab document, and then we start sorting the reviews themselves. There's a function inside Google Sheets as well as an Excel, which is called the len function. I'll leave a link in and around this video. Hopefully you can sort through that individual tool, and what that does is it sorts the reviews by number of words. You want to read the longest reviews first and force rank them based upon that len function, and you'll be able to quickly start to understand as you go through the reviews like what this product or what this market is all about, who it's all about. Did they talk in sympathetic tones? Did they talk in negative tones? Did they talk about desperation? Did they talk about pain points or desires? You're going to start to realize very quickly there's very similar themes inside these individual reviews. And then you can use, like I said, you can use the len function in order to sort the most important ones by the number of words. Then after we do that individual step, then we start to craft our initial messaging. Now we do this by sort of breaking it down into 3 different factors, which is jobs to be done, a sentiment analysis, as well as their buying criteria. But basically what this is we start to formulate rough ad copy based around the words that the market is actually using inside the reviews. The messaging that we then formulate from all these individual sources becomes sort of the raw foundation for what we will then present back to a customer, which is their avatars, their actual sort of individual avatars with some messaging, some of the messaging lens included. Oftentimes, a lot of that messaging comes directly from Amazon reviews themselves. So this is just one of about 16 tools that we typically use in this deep dive research end of the Creative Lab. The other things that we use is we use Answer the Public. We also go into forums. We look at Facebook posts. We look at competitor reviews. We look at Google reviews. There's a ton of different things that we do, about 16 different things. But Amazon is the place that we go to the first, because the Amazon engine is so effective and so powerful. And we've used this many, many times in order to be able to create really resonant ads that not just speak to the market, but make the market feel that, yes, this is the product or the thing that's going to bridge me from where I am today, how I'm feeling today, to where I ultimately want to be. And if you can do that as an advertiser and really get to understand your who, your avatar, Amazon is the best place to start. So if you'd like to learn more about the Creative Lab and a little bit more about Tier 11, feel free to click the link in and around this video. In the meantime, hope this video was helpful for you to help you and your team create the perfect marketing message for your perfect audience.